Welcome. Please stand and join me in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way. This is a call and response. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around me.
Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know that love is all around me.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy way. Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome and good morning on this bright, chilly morning in Arizona. This is the Creative Living Fellowship Sunday morning service, and I welcome you all here, those in person and those online. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us time and time again. We welcome you here into our hearts. If you are online and it's your first time, please go to our website and you can sign up there for the email list, which you will begin to receive weekly emails on information that will welcome you into all of our events and our functions. And you can learn more about CLF throughout our website as well, too. My name is Deborah Covington, and I am the host for the service today. I want to tell you a little bit about Creative Living Fellowship. We are an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "True imagination is not fanciful daydreaming. It is fire from heaven." I love those words. Let's take that in. Today, I want to welcome back Victoria Fairclough, who is our musical inspiration. Let's give her a warm welcome back. Our favorite friend, Victoria. So here's a bit about the order of service today. Our practitioner emeritus, Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, facilitated our pre-service meditation. She is also holding high watch today for the service, which means that she is sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, holding a space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Thank you, Reverend Mary Jane, for your continued service. Practitioner Fran Peck is serving as our practitioner of the day, and she will be offering our evocation. That will be followed by our congregational chant, "The World." And while I think most of us here know it, the words will be on the screen for those online. And I encourage you to please sing it with feeling and also with meaning. And you can be interactive with it as well, too. After the chant, Fran Peck will be back with our inspirational reading of the day. And so right now, here's Fran with our evocation.
Good morning. So let's just turn within. Just in gratitude, recognizing that one power, that one presence, that one life, that one source, the source of my life, the source of us all. So knowing this spiritual truth, I speak my word of blessing for this service. I know that it unfolds perfectly, divinely, that everything that needs to be is already done and known in the one mind of spirit. I bless each and every person and their service to this community, and I bless Creative Living Fellowship and the community at large, knowing that it is a divine idea in the mind of God. I bless Reverend Dr. Sherry and her message, knowing that it is divinely inspired and that we each receive that for which we have need. And I send special blessings around the world, just knowing that the power and the peace and the love of God is present everywhere. So in gratitude and profound thanksgiving for the perfect unfolding of this service and this day, I simply release my word, knowing that it is already done. And I say, thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so it is.
The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
Our reading this morning is Magic All Around Us from Meditations of the Heart by Howard Thurman. I seek new levels of awareness of the meaning of the commonplace. It is easy for me to take things for granted and deal with them without sensitiveness. When have you noticed the color in the sky? When have you looked at the shape and place of a tree? What about the light in the eyes of your friend when he smiles? The gracious manner that your child has in meeting people at the door? The moving insight and the power of the words of a hymn, the music of which you enjoy? The renewal of mind and body after a night of restful sleep? The way the cut in your finger healed, leaving scarcely a trace of the opening? The spontaneous response which overcomes you when you're face to face with some poignant human need? The times when deep within your heart you whisper a thank you to life, to God, or as you may say, to the fates? There's magic all around us, in the rocks and trees and in the minds of men. Deep hidden springs of magic. He who strikes the rocks aright may find them where he will. I seek new levels of awareness in the meaning of the commonplace.
God is where I stand. God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. Ask me where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. And where I see, God is the answer. Here and now, forever, forever and ever. Where I speak truth is, where I work, love is my career, and where I play, God is God is.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm so glad to see you here, have you here, hear you here. We've missed you a lot. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let's take a deep breath together. Love that song. How beautiful was that? God is. That's all we ever need to know. God is. God is. This month, we're talking about intentional living. That's the theme for the month. And when we can anchor into that truth that God is, then we can live intentionally because we can begin to see God everywhere, to hear God everywhere, to know God is everywhere, and to experience God everywhere, consciously experience God everywhere. And so just letting that be an affirmation for you, letting that be a mantra for you, letting that be a truth that you affirm over and over and over throughout your day. God is. God is. That's all we ever need to know. And then when we are anchored into that truth, then as the reading says, we recognize that there's magic all around us. That there's magic everywhere, that there's magic all around us, even in the little things and in the so-called big things. In all things, there's magic because God is. And that's what intentional living is all about. Intentional living, living on purpose, living consciously, living in the awareness that you're living in the awareness that life is happening, living in the awareness that you are part of everything that's going on, living in the awareness that God is. That's what intentional living is all about. And so that's what we're talking about this month. And last week I was talking to you about acting on purpose and the importance of setting intentions. We set our intentions, and then that keeps us acting on purpose. When we set intentions daily, then we act according to our intentions because intention drives behavior. And so I don't know how many of you actually did that last week. I did some, and I was really aware of when I did not set the intention, or when I had forgotten, or when I had failed to set intentions about something. Because as I said, intentions are like roadmaps. Goals are for the future. Intention is in the present, and it keeps us anchored in where we're going. It guides us to where we're going, what we want to accomplish, and all that. And so I think it's really important for us to just keep in mind that intention is so important for us to move forward in our lives. Intention is so important for us to live the best life that we can possibly live. Intention is so important for us to really experience the best that is yet to come. The best that is yet to come. If the best is yet to come, we got to be open and available for it, to experience it. And so that's what happens with intention. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about attention to details. Attention to details. Attention to details. Where is your attention? That's the big thing. That's the big question that we have to always keep in mind. Where is our attention? What are we focused on? Because energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. So wherever our attention is, that's where our energy is. Whether it's on something negative or whether it's something positive, it doesn't matter. Our attention is always on that to which our energy is flowing, or I should say, our energy is flowing that which our attention is focused on. And so, just keeping in mind that we want to be aware of our attention. We want to pay attention to our attention. We want to pay attention to our intention, of course. Yet if we don't pay attention to our intention, then there's no way for us to follow those intentions. There's no way for us to follow them because we're not paying attention to it. But then we have to also, and I'll come back to this again, we have to also pay attention to our attention. Where is our attention? It's easy to set goals and say, I want to accomplish this. This is what we do at the beginning of the year. We call them resolutions. But and some people call them other things, but usually we call them resolutions and goals that we set at the beginning of the year. And then by the end of January, a lot of them have fallen by the wayside. But that, again, that's for the future. But if we don't have something to keep going with those goals, keep going with those things that we want to accomplish, then they're just wishes. They're just wishes. They're just things that vain hopes. That's all they are. And so what I suggest that we do when we set goals is to take them to prayer. Whatever it is you want to accomplish, take that into prayer. Take that into your spiritual mind treatment. Take that, be really serious about it. Pray about it. Work with a practitioner on it, or a minister, or whatever the case may be. But the important thing is to take it into prayer so that the law can work on it. You know, Ernest Holmes says the law undirected will do nothing, but directed, the law can do anything and all things. And when the law is undirected, it's because we aren't directing it, and we have the power to direct it by our word. And that's what happens in our prayer. Our prayer for whatever it is we want, we're directing the law to act, to bring into our experience that which we want to have, that which we want to experience, that which we want to have as a part of our lives. And again, if we don't direct the law, it's just there. It's just there. And so the important thing, again, is to take your goals into prayer. But you know what? In addition to treating for something, and our prayers, you know, it's called spiritual mind treatment. And as we are treating for something, you know, there's also the requirement that we treat and move our feet. Yes, we take it into prayer. The law will act on it, but there's something that we have to do. We have to treat and move our feet. That's where intentions come in. That's where intentions come in. When we have a goal, we pray about it. We can't just pray about it and then just sit still and just wait for it to be rained upon us. There's something that we have to do. There's some steps that we have to take. And that's where intention comes in. That's what is it? If my goal is to have better self-care, then what is my intention? How do I get there? How do I get to better self-care? If my goal is to have a better relationship with someone, then how do I get there? What is my intention for having a better relationship? If my relationship with a particular person or a group of people is not working, then what is it that I need to do to make sure that I'm doing my part? So that's where the intention comes in. Today, I intend to be more open. Today, I intend to listen. Today, I intend to be kinder. Today, I intend to not be impatient. Whatever the case may be, that's hindering you from having whatever it is you want to experience, that's what we set our intentions for. And that's why it's important to set those intentions each and every day. And once we set the intention, then you have to pay attention to the intention, which means that you have to be awake throughout the day. You got to be awake and aware throughout the day. You can't just set your intention in the morning and then go on off willy-nilly, which is what many of us do, and not accomplish those things because we aren't paying attention to them. We aren't paying attention to, we start paying attention to something else. And when we start to pay attention to something else, that's where our energy goes, because energy flows where attention goes. So we have to keep that in mind. Have you ever been, I'm just having a flash of this right now. Have you ever been riding with someone or driving yourself and your attention goes off someplace other than where you are or what you're doing, where you're driving, where you are, and then you wonder, did I pass that particular street back there? Or sometimes just, where am I? Because sometimes it's just, where am I? Because your mind has gone on off, you're not paying attention, and you don't know where you are, or you can't remember. Or what I started to say is, have you ever been riding with someone who doesn't pay attention to the road, and while they're talking, they're looking at you, or they're doing picking up their phones or doing all kinds of things, which makes you want to have them pull over to the side and let you out. That's my response to that kind of behavior. I can remember as a child, my father's best friend drove really fast. And he would drive, and then he would turn. If someone was sitting in the back seat, he'd turn all the way around and look at that person while he's driving. He'd put his leg up on the seat sometimes. He did. And sometimes my daddy would come home and he'd be so angry, and he'd be talking to mother. He said, I'm never going to ride with him again. And then something would happen and he would have to ride with him again. And he'd come home and he'd be so upset because Mr. Lewis just drove really, really, really fast. And he turned around and didn't pay attention. He paid attention to the people in the car with him and he talked to them a lot. But that was a harrowing experience for my father. And that can be a harrowing experience for other drivers on the road. But his attention was not on what he was doing. His attention was always on the people who were in the car with him. So where are we with that in our lives? Where are we with that? Where are you with that in your life? Where is your attention? Is your attention on what your intention is? If your intention is to get more sleep, what do you, how if your goal is to get more sleep, what intentions do you set for that? What intentions do you set for that? Do you go to bed earlier? Do you turn off the TV? Do you turn off the lights? Do you do all those things that are conducive to a really good quality sleep? Some of those things I'm working on, those are my intentions. And some of them I'm doing better on than I have done in the past. But that's an issue for me. So I'm really beginning to set intention more and more and more about getting good quality sleep, because that's good self-care. But what is your issue? What is your issue? And you have to pay attention, because if you don't before, I have to pay attention, because if I don't before I know it, it's midnight. And I'm wondering how to get to be midnight already. And I'm still sitting at my computer working. I'm still sitting at my computer doing something. It's because I wasn't paying attention to my intention. I wasn't paying attention to my intention. What is it for you that you're not paying attention to? What is your intention to do? Something that you really would like to accomplish. But the only way you can accomplish it is by putting one foot in front of the other and paying attention. Paying attention to where did your intention go? Where did your attention go? Where is your attention now? And so that's what's really important for us to keep in mind as we go along, paying attention to details. Paying attention to details. The little things, that's what details are. We call them the little things. And you know, there's that saying that the devil is in the details, and meaning that something may seem simple, and then when you get into it, it's really complex and really difficult, and they call it the devil being in the details. Keep in mind that God is in the details. God is in the details. God is in the details. Just take a breath on that. God is in the details. Whatever those details may be, God is in the midst of it. And so when we recognize that, then we start to pay attention to where God is in the details. We start paying attention to, as the reading said, the magic all around us. We start paying attention to the cut on the finger that heals. And it seems to heal all by itself, because it certainly doesn't heal from the outside in. It heals from the inside out. And so when we start to pay attention to those things, when we start to pay attention to the change of season, when we start to pay attention to the sunset, to the sunrise, when we start to pay attention to the breeze that comes, when we start to pay attention to all those things, that's when we start living intentionally, because we are aware of what's going on. We are conscious of what's going on. We are conscious of changes. We are conscious of the need for change. We are conscious of so many things. And when we start to really be consciously aware, that's when we are paying attention. And that's when we are really living in the moment, really living consciously, really living on purpose, really being in the presence of God always, really allowing God to express through each of us always, really being totally aware of whatever it is that's happening around us, really living fully and really living intentionally. This is when we really start to live, when we really are aware, when we really are paying attention. And so I'm inviting you to pay attention to details. Pay attention to details as you go through this week. Pay attention to what it is you say you want and what are you doing to get there. And keeping in mind that something's got to change, because if we do what we've always done, we get what we've always gotten. That's real simple, isn't it? If we do what we've always done, we get what we've always gotten. And I've been hearing that all week, because when I see little things come up, it's like, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always gotten. So I've had to remind myself of this as I've gone through the week. And I'm inviting you to do the same thing. If you are experiencing something right now that you don't want to experience in your life, be it health, be it finances, be it relationships, whatever you may call it, whatever it is that you experience that you're not really wanting to experience, what can you do now, right in this moment, to change that? What can you do right now in this moment to have a different experience? Because in order to have a different experience tomorrow, you got to do something different today. You can't wait till tomorrow to have a different experience. It's got to start right here and right now, because that's the only time we have is right here and right now, the present moment. That's the only time we can change something is in the present moment. You can't change it tomorrow. You can change it right now. You can change it right here. So whatever, but we have to be paying attention to know what it is that needs to change. Oh, I'm doing this thing. Oh, I need to do something different. Let me change it right here and right now. Not, I'll change it later. You know, that's the easy way out. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that next time. And then you know what? Next time doesn't come, because next time has its own requirements. Next time has its own mandates is the word that's coming up. Its own requirements is what next time has. And so the important thing for us to keep in mind is that we want to live in the moment. We want to live consciously in the moment. We want to experience the best possible life. And we want to do that each and every moment of each and every day. And we can do that each and every moment of each and every day, simply by paying attention to how we're living, paying attention to where our attention is, and then just pulling it back. Pulling it back. If we're supposed to be focused on this, heading this way, and your attention goes over there, pull it back and head back in the direction that you started. It sounds easy. It's simple. Maybe not always easy, because there's the lure of that phone that we want to pick up. There's the lure of that game that we want to play. There's the lure of that social media platform that we want to just scroll through. There's that phone call, or whatever the case may be. There's a lure of that argument. There's a lure of going through in your head something that disturbed you, or something that you some disagreement you had with somebody, and what she said and what he didn't do, or all that stuff, that we get caught up in. There's a lure of the negativity. And we have to keep our minds focused on the truth, focused on moving forward in the way that we want to move forward and want to live our lives in peace and love and harmony and joy and all the gifts of the Spirit. But we have to have the intention to do that. We have to act on that intention, and that keeps us on purpose. And when we're on purpose, then paying attention to whether or not we're on purpose, paying attention to whether or not we're on purpose, paying attention to whether or not we're on purpose. And as we do that, we are living intentionally. We are living intentionally. Sounds like magic, doesn't it? It is magic. But sometimes magic is hard work, because it takes work for us to do this. It takes work not to just become unconscious. And many of us live unconsciously in some area of our lives, maybe not all areas, but in some area that we fall asleep. There's some area that we fall asleep. There's that Ricky Byers song going through my head. I was walking asleep, dreaming I was awake. I was walking asleep, dreaming I was awake. This world confused me. This world confused me, because I was walking asleep, dreaming I was awake. And that's what we do. Walk asleep, dreaming that we're awake. But when we keep our attention focused, on that which is real, and you know how we do that? We start that with our spiritual practice. Do you know that meditation helps us to learn to focus and focus and focus? Because that's what it is all the time. We're coming back to our breath, or we're coming back to some focal point in meditation. And as we're doing meditation, we keep coming back. We keep returning to the inner. We keep ourselves anchored in that presence that is all around us. And so that's why I encourage you to do your spiritual practice every day. Do your spiritual practice every day. Set your intention. If you don't have a good spiritual practice, that's okay. You can start right now. You can start right now. If you stopped meditating, that's okay. You can start right now. If you don't meditate because your mind wanders, that's okay. That's a part of meditation. That's okay. That's a part of meditation. But you can set your intention right now to start a meditation practice. And if you can't sit but 10 minutes, sit 10, because if you can't sit 10, you can't sit 30. So start right where you are. Start with the little things that you can do. And pay attention to what you're doing with the little things, with the details, because God is in the details. And when you set your intention and pay attention to your intention, and you are anchored in prayer and really working on it and paying attention, do you know that God is right there in the details, guiding you, directing you, showing you the way? That inner voice starts to speak to you in so many ways that you can't even imagine. So many ways that you can't even imagine. And so I'm inviting you to really begin to experience the allness and the fullness of life. Really begin to experience the allness and the fullness of God by setting your intention to do so. Setting your intention to have a different relationship. Setting your intention to have a more peace-filled life, if that's what you want. Setting your intention to have a more love-filled life. Setting your intention to be filled with gratitude and to express gratitude all the time. Setting your intention to recognize your blessings. Setting your intention to go with the flow and not let every little thing upset you and let every little thing bog you down. Setting your intention to be all that you were created to be. Setting your intention to live your best possible life right now. Because if you're not setting your intention to live your best possible life right now, there's no way you can do that. There's no way you can do that because there's no roadmap. There's no behavior driver there when we don't have the intention to do that. So pay attention to details, the little things that you can change right now, not something massive, because that's what we always want to do. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change my whole life. No, just one little thing. Just one little thing. And then do the next little thing. And then do the next little thing. And then do the next little thing. That's how life unfolds. That's how life unfolds. And that's what we want to do. We want to consciously unfold with it. We want to allow it to unfold for each one of us with ease and with grace and with effortlessness and with joy. With joy. Intentionally live with joy. What would that feel like for you? Intentionally live with harmony. Intentionally live with love. Intentionally live with peace. Intentionally live with prosperity. Intentionally live with health, good health. Intentionally live with all the gifts of the Spirit. What does that look like to you? Pay attention to what you need to do in order to experience those things. Pay attention to what you need to do. Set your intention to do that. Pay attention to your intention, and then pay attention to where your attention goes. That's a lot of paying attention, isn't it? But you know what it is? It's just it's a stream. It's not separate things that you have to do. Pay attention to this, to this, to this, and to that. No, that's not the way that works. You're just being awake and aware and conscious as you move through this life, as you move through your day, as you move through this time, just being awake, aware, and paying attention. And the rest of it unfolds, because once we are open and available, God guides us, God directs us, God shows us the way, God tells us what to do. There's life always happening. There's life always happening. And we want this great life to happen through each one of us as our very lives. And that's a possibility for each one of us. There's a probability if we're doing something about it. Not just a possibility, but a probability. And there's a certainty when we're really doing something about it, when we are really directing the law with the word that we speak, the prayer that we utter, the prayer that we speak. Then when we are directing the law in that regard, then we are living intentionally. We are living not haphazardly. We're living purposefully. We're living intentionally. We're saying yes to life. We're saying yes to God. We're saying, yes, God is, and I know this is the truth. This is all I need to know God is, and I'm just going to open up and let that isness that is God flow through me. Direct my life. Direct my life. Direct my life. Direct my life in so many ways. And watch out, because you'll find out you're living the best possible life. And isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? So this is what I'm inviting you to do today. Pay attention as you, from this moment, not as you leave this place, right here, right now. Pay attention. Pay attention to what your thoughts are, because you know there's only one mind. And so everybody thinks into that one mind. And if we aren't paying attention to our own thoughts, we find that we are thinking the thoughts of other people. The thoughts of other people are thinking into them, be they negative or whatever we call it, positive or negative, whatever. And we begin to experience the thoughts that we're thinking, the thought that somebody else is thinking. We begin to experience that because we aren't paying attention to our own thoughts and making sure that our own thoughts are consistent with what we want to experience. So all these things come up. All these things come up. So I'm inviting you, pay attention to everything. Pay attention to everything. Pay attention to your life. Pay attention to your day. Pay attention to your breathing. Are you doing that? Pay attention to the details of your life. Pay attention to the details of this moment. Pay attention to the details of this day. Pay attention to the details of everything. When you do that, you begin to see things that you haven't seen before. You begin to hear things you haven't heard before. You begin to experience that guidance, that inner voice that we often think is a thought. Oh, I was just thinking. Well, okay, but just pay attention to what your thoughts are. Pay attention to that something that is always guiding, that is always telling us. And you say, oh, something told me. Well, you know, something is the other name for God. Something is the other name for God. It's like, oh, something told me not to do that. Something told me to turn that way. Something did tell us. And whatever you want to call it, just know that there's that power and that presence that is always with us, guiding us, directing us, showing us the way. And we have to live with the intention of experiencing the allness and fullness of it in each and every moment of each and every day. Let's take a breath. I'm going to stop here because I feel another whole talk bubbling up. So let's just, I'm setting my intention and paying attention to the fact that I'm going to stop right here, right now. And we're going to take this up again next week, the intentional living. But meanwhile, pay attention this day. Pay attention before you leave. Pay attention right now. And throughout this week, pay attention to where your attention is. And then you know what? You're the master of your attention. You're the master of your attention. Nobody else is the master of your attention. Only you can determine what you're going to pay attention to. And so I'm inviting you to be the master of your attention and keep it focused where you want it to be focused, on what you want it to be focused, and determine whether or not it's consistent with your intention. And so that's what I'm asking you to do this week. That's your assignment for the week. Pay attention to your attention this week. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to everything that you want to experience, that is. But pay attention as you go through this week. So let's just turn within in this moment. Taking a deep breath together, just moving into that place of knowing and sensing and feeling the presence of God. Just knowing that God is right here, right now, right where I am, right where we are. Knowing that only presence, that only light, that only power, that only activity, that only that I choose to call God is always right where we are, always in the midst. That onlyness that is God is my very life, and it is the life of each of us here this day. And so knowing this truth, I know that my attention is focused and anchored on that onlyness that is God. And I am speaking this word for each one of us this day, speaking a word of wholeness, speaking a word of love, speaking a word of peace, of joy, of harmony, of balance, of perfect health, of compassion and forgiveness, speaking a word of gratitude for each and every one of us this day. Knowing that all needs are met for each and every one. All needs are met, whatever those needs may be, because that great comforter is right in the midst of loss. That great comforter is in the midst of everything, every situation, every circumstance. And so I'm speaking the word for each of us today, no matter what the appearance may be in our lives. God is in the presence. God is in the midst. God is in the present moment, in each and every moment of each and every day. And everything is made new. And so this word goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that right where each one is, God is blessing and keeping and lifting them up. A word of peace goes out into this world, onto this planet, for all those places where there's chaos and war and unrest, just knowing that God is in the midst of everything. Peace is in the midst of everything. Hearts are changed. Hearts are open. Minds are open. God is in the midst. Healing is happening everywhere. Healing is happening everywhere. Healing is happening everywhere, for God is everywhere. And so I'll just pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer this day. You may speak their names silently or aloud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each one is, blessing and keeping them. That God is in the midst of every situation, every circumstance, every event, and that wholeness is being revealed in each and every life. Each and every life, wholeness is being revealed because God is in the midst of it, everything. And so I just simply say thank you, Father, Mother God, for the word spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the perfect manifestation of this word that's spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for everything, for everything, for everything. All is well. All is God. And we keep our attention focused on God, the only truth that is. That is where our attention is, right here and right now. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Can't avoid the delay, but I don't have to make feeling down and defeated the place that I stay. Gonna rise to the moment, gonna speak to the waves, gonna push back the doubt that keeps dragging me down when I can't find a way. Don't need to see it to believe it before you even. I was standing pain, moved by pain, lived by pain. I believe, I believe, I believe. Standing pain, walked by pain, seen by pain. I believe, I believe, I believe. It's a season for healing. It's a season for change. To see miracles happen that no one can fathom as heaven and rains. And it's more than a feeling, and it's anchored in praise. And when it's the darkest, it reaches the farthest and opens a way. Don't need to see it to believe it before you even move or make a way. I was standing there, walked by faith, lived by faith. I believe, I believe, I believe. Standing there, lived by faith, received by faith. I believe, I believe, I believe. This is how blind men get their sight. This is how dead men walk the rise. This is how small things multiply. Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. This is where oceans start to part. This is where light turns from the dark. This is where I see who you are. Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Stir my faith. I will stand in faith. Walk by faith. Receive by faith. I believe, I believe, I believe. Stand in faith. Walk by faith. Move by faith. I believe, I believe, I believe. Stand in faith.
Thank you so much. Got me crying again. Both songs. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful talk. What a beautiful wake up call. We can never be called to wake up enough times. Yeah, to live awake and aware and stand in faith because nothing is impossible when you're standing in faith. Love that song. What a beautiful day. And now is the time for us to have our conscious giving. This is the time when we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. As you tithe at CLF, we tithe to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people. Like our 2024 fourth quarter tithe recipient, Nourish Phoenix. Nourish Phoenix is a community hub that serves vulnerable individuals and families by offering resources and provide pathways to self-sufficiency. And isn't that what we want to bring to the world is self-sufficiency? It's our pleasure to give to this organization. If you're online, you can click the donate button on our website or on our Facebook page, or you can text to give by using your cell phone. And that text number is 844-941-4360. For in-person people, we have an usher who will come and collect your tithes and offerings as we sing, I Trust in God, and the words will be on the screen. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. Now, please join me in saying our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. And thank you, Nicole, for your service today. And I will hand the microphone off to you for the announcements.
Yay, it's like a relay race. All right. Am I going to do okay. Thank you, Cindy, for your service today. All right, so our announcements. You know, Reverend Sherry talked about how meditation is a key to paying attention, and we're so awesome. We offer it during the week, Monday through Friday, midday meditation on our Facebook and YouTube live streams, And you can also join us for our pre-service meditation on Sundays at 9:30. And you can do that in person or online. The New Thought book study is underway. They are studying An Altar in the World, A Geography of Faith by Barbara Brown Taylor. You can find a link for the book on our website and in your weekly newsletter. Just go ahead and grab your copy and start reading, and then drop in through Zoom on Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. After service, we have our practitioners available to pray with you. Also, on the welcome table is a prayer box if you want to submit a written request, or you can send an email to prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. Just put prayer request in the subject line, please. And then you can join Reverend Sherry for fellowship today after service at PB Pie and Wine. Yes, it's on the northwest corner of Tatum and Shea. I added a directional thing in there, which, can help. Some people, doesn't help. You can find the information for all of our events, whether they're in person or online, under our website or through our weekly newsletter. And that's it for me. I know we can't get enough of Reverend Sherry, so be back.
Okay, Nicole, the directions that I know are front, back, right, left. That's it. Northwest, southeast doesn't work. Okay. When I lived in Cleveland, I knew that the lake was to the north. So if I want to know where something is north here, I imagine that I'm in Cleveland but I close my eyes so that I can see the lake. And then I head that way. So anyway, it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. So, but thank you, Nicole. So it's on the corner, PB Pine Wine is on the corner of Shea and Tatum. One of those corners you will see the sign above the building. Nicole says it's the northwest corner. We'll see. So at any rate, just a few closing remarks. You know what they are. Treatment for supply, page 262 of the Science of Mind textbook. A prayer for our country, which we really need. And you can create your own prayer and use this one, or use this one, whichever, but praying for our country is so important, so important. And of course, let there be peace on earth, because we always, always want peace on earth. And just letting that be a part of your daily practice. Those words to that song, be a part of your daily practice, can really be wonderful. Continue to connect with each other, whether you're meeting in person, on the phone, texting, or whatever the case may be. It's so important to stay connected with each other. And I love it when you come here, because we stay connected in this way also. Practitioners are available, as Nicole said, for prayer after service. And I think that's all I have. If you will stand now for our closing affirmation. Repeat after me, please. Today, I commit to setting my intentions.
Today, I commit to setting my intention
And paying attention to my intention.
and paying attention to my
And paying attention to my attention. As I live on purpose.
as I live on purpose
Intentionally.
intentionally.
As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now.
I know it, I sense it, I feel it, and I thank God for it. Thank you, God. And so it is. Now we'll sing Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Oh, I love you. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week living intentionally.